Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. And today we'll be exploring the idea of Italy forming an empire. So, the first wars Italy would face, this is Italy right here with Sicily and Sardinia, would probably be against Albania to recover its land as it once had that, and with San Marino and the Vatican, which isn't shown on this map, to connect its borders. So, let's see how this will turn out. The Italians start by occupying San Marino because that would be very easy to do, as it is a small, weak country surrounded by Italy, and then they start pulling naval dominance across the Adriatic to be able to launch a naval invasion into Albania. And they spearhead navally till they reach the coast of Albania, and along with Italian paratroopers land in Albania. After around 3 weeks of fighting, Albania capitulates. So, let's take a look at the peace treaty. I forgot to mention the Vatican, but it too would have collapsed, and Italy has full annexation of all of those regions. So, full annexation of San Marino, the Vatican, and Albania. So, the next war Italy would face would be against all of the Adriatic countries except for Greece, because that's where the Adriatic melts into the Mediterranean. So let's take a look at how this scenario would unfold. So, also forgot to mention, this is not a complete copy of adizzpro's video. It looks very similar, but I don't know any other major European countries because I want to make a video about a major European country forming an empire, and adizzpro has made a video about all of them. So if you think this video is straight up copy, click off the video, and please don't send hate because, no reason, and I'll take down the video if everyone hates it, but just watch adizzpro if you think this isn't sufficient. So, the coalition pushes into Albania and gets its route, as most of the Italian troops are not in Albania right now. They're back in the homeland. But the Italians start by pushing into Slovenia and Croatia, quickly securing what they had in World War II prior to the invasion of Yugoslavia, and just pull down the coast, definitely outstretching their lines, their supply lines. But the fact is, all of these countries don't have very strong militaries, so it's quite simple to get them routing. They officially take down all of the Adriatic coast, recover Albania, and Albania is now Italian again. They push into Montenegro. Okay, wait, I'm having some problems with the coloring, sorry. They push into Montenegro from Albania, and Bosnia and Croatia capitulate. So, let's take a look at the peace treaty. So, the Italian war would result in an annexation of the Adriatic coast, and because of this, Italy is now very strong, to say the least. It is definitely stronger than it would be in real life, but that's kind of self-explanatory. So, the next war Italy would face would be the largest yet. They would start off by invading Greece because they want to get the south portions like they did in World War II. I probably should stop mentioning that time because I'm going to get taken down. But yeah, and the problem is that France, seeing the fact that Italy is expanding so much and so aggressively, joins the war on the Greek side, and so does Monaco. So this is going to be a troubling war for Italy, but because of the fact that it's the empire-forming country and it's buffed, and the fact that this is a strong nation, spoiler alert, it'll win. So, let's take a look at how this will happen. So, most of the Italians are ready for the war against Greece because most of its troops are stationed in the Balkans from the Adriatic War. and the fact that they were the aggressors, they declared war, but they were very unprepared for France. They have a couple of garrisons, but it's definitely not enough to stop them from pushing. They eventually get halted at this line. They make a secure line for the French to stop, but it's still massive losses on both sides. So the Italians steamroll over Greece though with their massive army from the Adriatic War, and they quickly take out all the islands and close in on there, take out Thessaloniki, and Greece capitulates. So the Italians start planning their offense by first of all taking Corsica, and all of these troops right now are moving up the Adriatic up to Venice and then reaching the line. So the new reinforcements are helping the Italians recover the lost land and even push a bit into Monaco and this region of France. They eventually just push down the south coast, capture all of that, reach Andorra, and yeah, by then the French realize that they have lost. They have dealt with too strong an enemy because Mr. Mid, the history kid, the random kid, decided to meddle with the Italians' numbers. But yeah, France realizes that it's gone and surrenders. So let's take a look at the peace treaty. So this war has resulted in the Italians annexing a large part of Greece, the part facing the Mediterranean, like the Western Mediterranean, and they completely annexed Monaco and Corsica, and a part of like the Savoy lands. I don't know what to call them. So this time the Italians are the defenders. Now there's a aggressive coalition forming against them, and it's not very pleasant for the Italians. This coalition is the Germanic coalition. So most of the Central European northern nations join the coalition on the aggressor's side, and Switzerland also joins the coalition. So spoiler alert again, Italy will win, but this war will be much closer than all the others so far have been. So the first offensives will be from the Italians because they had garrisons, and despite the fact that I haven't seen the attack, they still had troops in that region. But the events quickly gets bogged down, and the Germanic reinforcements recover southern Austria and push in and cut off the Adriatic coast from the rest of Italy. That isn't super bad for the Italians because they still have very large naval prowess in this region, so they can still ship, but it's still a blow to their infrastructure. And they push into northern Italy and recover all Swiss lands. So yeah, they even push into like northern Italy a lot, in like the parts of the Italians took from the French. So right now the Italians are in full retreat, but the Italians do what Hannibal did with Rome. They have learned their lesson, and the French, seeing that Germany is getting aggressive again, despite the fact that Italy has trash relations with it, decides to help Italy by giving it military access. So the Italians cross completely through the Alps and encircle the enemy like Hannibal did with Rome. So that's bad for the Germans, I guess. they still can't properly supply it, but it's land which they didn't have before. Using this new land, they can cut off the Swiss from this region and eventually get back to the old border from the beginning of the war when the Italians pushed. The Italians now completely occupy Switzerland. They connect their borders here in the Rhineland, and the Saarland, I think that's what they're called. The Italians push into Austria, get it down. They push into Bohemia or the Czech Republic, cut it off from Slovakia, and simply just swoop around. Now, this is very dangerous for them, as they're trying to do encirclements. It's very dangerous because they're now very vulnerable and outstretched, but it ends up going good for them as they encircle the entire Bohemian army and crush it. And by then, most of the Germanic armies are dead, except for the Danish ones. A couple of Danish ones are still alive, but it's definitely no match for the Italian ones. And Germany capitulates, followed soon by Denmark. So, let's take a look at the peace treaty. So, this is how the peace treaty would look like. Switzerland would be completely annexed, a bit of Austria would be annexed, and a bit of southern Germany would be annexed. Also, I just wanted to state that this is completely unrealistic. As you can tell, the French gave them the Italians military access, which after this would never have happened. No military alliances or anything, and simply it's unrealistic diplomacy and everything. But it's made completely for just fun, so yeah. The next and final war of the video would be between this new great Italian empire and the Tunisians and the Libyans. So, let's see how this war would happen. First of all, the Italians, okay, well, I do not want to do that. The Italians would begin by securing naval dominance in the region. So they're currently securing naval dominance in the Mediterranean, trying to get enough to land, and they reached the location of many famous Roman defeats against the Vandals. I think it's called Cape Boa. So Cape Bon. So the Italians have some very bad recollections of this area, but that doesn't stop them from trying to attempt a landing again. Only this time is successful, unlike in the Roman times. So they simply just push around the coast, capture that island from Tunisia, and simply just get all the important parts of these two nations without much hesitation, because let's just say their armies are very weak compared to the Italian ones and no match, and they capitulate once all that's left of them is Sahara. So let's take a look at the peace treaty. So this is what the peace treaty would look like. Italy would just annex this northern region, and yeah, this is what Italy would look like after the entire video. Just so you know, just so that the Mediterranean looks sick, Italy will have annexed Malta, okay? This was not part of the video. I just decided that at the end because why not? So Italy has Malta. Now, yeah, this is what the Italian Empire looks like. Say what you think. Yeah. Well, see you next time. Have a good day. Bye.